Let's take a 5-minute craft break together. Hello, I'm Claire from Created the Ottaway, and this week's craft break is all about having a little fun play with our punches and die cuts to make some of these beautiful flowers. Quick hello to all of you in the Crafty Ottas Club. It's lovely to have you here. So these are my designs. I've got these as YouTube tutorials. Go have a look, or I'll put the link underneath or at the end of the video probably. And I get asked about the flowers on my cards a lot. What do I use? How do I make them? All sorts of questions. I tend to quite often use my punches or my little dies. So the punches that I use are ones like this. These are actually Stampin' Up ones. You can see there's different sizes, and I do lots of layering with them. So if you see on this one, you've got the bigger one at the back, and I've layered the other two smaller ones there. The leaves are also a punch that I've got. Okay, so that's that punch, again from Stampin' Up. These are retired punches now, but if you've got something similar in your stash, or you might be able to pick them up on a few sites. I'm trying to think of the sites that might be available to you all everywhere. eBay or Facebook groups that are selling retired Stampin' Up punches. Have a look for those as well. They're well worth the investment, and I use mine all the time. I've got lots of different punches, but the flower ones and the leaf ones are the ones that I go back to time and time again. So this one again is a little bit different. It's this one, and I've got the tiny little ones. Have I got that punch? Yeah, that's that one. So you can see that just with a few sizes you can do lots of different variations. So what do? Just to make them stand out or make them a little bit different, all my scraps of card I keep. I know it's terrible, isn't it? But I do. And literally I just punch loads of shapes, sitting in front of the TV, spending time with my husband, just die cut, punch out lots of shapes, and just have a really big pile of them, just from all the scraps. It's a great stash buster in all colours. And then obviously when you're making a card, there's always odds and ends left over. You can just do them at the same time. So that's where we are with those. Now to shape them, you could stick them on flat. It won't really do much for your design. I use this old bit of mouse mat. Now, if you haven't got an old mouse mat, you could use a bit of children's foam and use that instead. I've got a couple of tools that I use. I've got a take your pick tool from Stampin' Up, an old embossing tool. But if you haven't got those, you can use things like a pen. That's got a nice round shape on the end. A pencil with a ruler, a rubber on the end, that's a good one. Or this pen's got a really good round circle on the end. You see it's a bit covered in glue. That I use as well to style. So how do I do my flowers? Well, there's lots of ways you can do it. You could just push into your foam like that. This is really good because it gives you that little circle as well. So that tells you where the middle is. You could do it with your pencil like that. Doesn't give you the circle, but it still shapes it. All sorts of things like this. If you've got a flower like this, I would use probably the pencil, just to go like that. And then I would use a Stampin' Right marker, or any marker really, and I would just use the narrow end just to do some dots in the middle, literally just dots, and then it looks much more real. Okay, so if I hold that up now, can you see? And then on the card it looks really effective. Now when it comes to the leaves, just a simple way to jazz up your leaves is just draw a line down the end, down the middle of it, like that, with your pokey tool or your embossing tool. And that just shapes the leaves. And not only does it make it look shaped, but you can just bend it. Now it's got a groove in it. You can make it look even more real just by shaping those round like that. And then sometimes what I do is cut off a bit of the leaf. So because you're going to have it behind, so you could cut that one there. Okay. And then that one will tuck in, and then you've got this one that tucks in as well. And I just shape that so it looks like it was always meant to be like that. Like that. And that will poke in as well. If I bring my cards back in, so you can see this one here, that has just been poked behind. And how I raise it up is on some little sticky pads, some foam pads. These, and I just chop those up and give it a bit of depth as well, and add some tiny little gems to the middle. So if I show you that one again, that's just layered, and this one is just like that with the tiny dots in there. And that is how you make some beautiful flowers as embellishments for your card. Thanks for watching.